I probably should have started here instead of starting with traits, but I didn't. We're going to talk about concept, nature, expression, and archetype. Now, your character concept is essentially the role that you want to have in the story. It's going to define how you view the setting, how you view the story, how you interact with the story at large. And this can be a descriptor of kind of a trope that you fulfill. The example that I use in the book is hard-boiled detective, but it could be all kinds of different things. Just there isn't a list of them. It's very much how do you want to describe your character and their driving motivations. And this could be, like I said, a description, or it could be a goal. Like it could be, I am going to be the initiator of Ragnarok or whatever. And that is your goal. That is what you're building your character toward. That is what they are working toward and where they believe that they are going. That should guide your whole sheet. Essentially, you're creating an archetype for yourself. But at the same time, there's an archetype being chosen for you. And this is actually pulled from a list, and this is done by the narrator, and you don't know what the result is. So the archetypes are obviously the source of the name of the archetype system, and that is because these are things that some higher power within the setting, whether it's society or some kind of gods or fate or whatever, has decided to cast you as that you have been determined that this is the road that you're going to be put on, whether it aligns with what you want for yourself or not. And how it works is that each of the archetypes that are available will give you bonuses or hindrances based on how well you are aligning with that. Now, this isn't arbitrary. There are going to be, I'm still writing them out, but there are going to be very specific assigned benefits. It's going to be described. These are the types of conditions where you're going to see pluses and minuses. And you, as the player, are not told what your archetype is. It's not on your sheet. And you have at best to infer from the experiences that you have what types of things fate is pushing you towards or society is pushing you towards or whatever. And you kind of are fighting against that to some degree in order to make your own decisions and forge your own path. I can go into those in more detail in another video, but that's two of the first things that you choose in your character sheet is your concept for yourself and the concept of your character that is trying to be forced on you. And then after that, you're going to choose your nature and your expression. Now, these two are tied together, but they are both chosen by the player. The archetype is the only thing that's chosen by the narrator and then hidden from the player. Your nature is the fundamental way that you exist in relative position to the powers of your setting. So, what does that mean? What that means is in Tall Tales, that is what your relationship to magic is. Within Tall Tales, your nature defines how you relate to that, how you engage with it. And they are things like human or cryptid or lesser spirit or greater fae or all these other things like that. These are your natures, but they aren't necessarily readily visible. In the Shakespeare game, there'll be things probably like social classes because the defining force of the setting is going to be social pressure or money or stuff like that. And so it'll probably be like social classes, your merchant class or your royalty, stuff like that. That's your nature. That's fundamentally how you engage with the social structures and with money and what resources you have available to you and stuff like that. Your expression is what people actually see. And that really is up to how you carry yourself. So in Tall Tales, it might be that you are a cryptid and your expression is Mothman, or your expression is, Bigfoot or something like that, or it even could be a werewolf. Whereas in the Shakespearean game, it could be something like, you are merchant class, but your expression is that you are very invested in nautical trade. And so a lot of how you carry yourself and a lot of the things that you have available to you and everything like that, and the way people see you is as somebody who's involved in nautical trade. Or it could be a lie. You could be someone who is, in fact, very lower class, but has put in a lot of effort to present yourself as someone that's higher class than you are. And that is what people see, but you're still dealing with all the problems of your nature. So those are the first four things that you define about your character, and they decide really how you're going to engage with the system, how you're going to engage with the setting, how you're going to engage with the story, and how people are going to see you and what forces are working for or against you. And that is going to build the framework around which everything else exists. So all of your traits and all of your specialties and all this other stuff are playing into this kind of archetype mold that has been created as a combination of your concept and your archetype and your nature and your expression. And those are the narrative hook that you are going to use in designing and playing your character and how people are going to engage with you. So stay tuned. I'll be talking more about the system. I think it's probably going to be how to roll specialties next video, but we'll see. Thank you.